if you're scared and you're worried, think your vision's getting blurry. I just clear your mind, clear your mind, clear your mind.
Buen dia, mis cristales. It's Kay here, and this is the Crystal Case. I would love to give you a channeled message. That's what I'm here for. I feel called to let you all know that no matter what you're going through in this day and age, in this particular present moment, just know you have what it takes to keep going. You have what it takes to keep pushing. You have to have that trust in your future, but also trust in your now. And I'm not sure who this is for, but I was absolutely called to say it. With that being said, I've already done a pre-shuffle, so let's go ahead and pull for you guys. I want to see what's the most urgent message or most important message that you need to hear now, especially due to the energy that's in your field and whatnot. So let's see. Okay. So right off the bat, I get the sense that you guys are being more methodical these days, taking the opportunity to sit with yourself and really see what is it that you want to focus on. What is it that is important to you? It's allowing you to have a bit of a laser focus, essentially. Also, I want to let you guys know, if I look away or if I do something like this, that's just me processing the message. Of course, I hear, see, and feel quite a bit from the collective, so I have to find a way to intelligibly regurgitate that information to you. So what I see here, maybe a little bit of a serious tone under you guys, not necessarily to the point where it's super heavy energy. I'm not getting heavy. I'm more so getting that you guys cut out the riffraff and that you're not really enthralled by being overly excitable or overly emotional about things that just don't necessarily require your attention. But you are giving your energy, spiritual birth, that was a confirmation. You are giving your energy to things that are truly important. You're standing on the truth in this time, or you're needing to. So that's significant for someone, and I'm seeing that you're using your words to communicate these truths to others, or rather that even your actions are very swift, very precise is what I'm hearing. I'm also hearing calculations, so double check your calculations, but I'm also hearing that some of you don't need to. So some things are lining up for you guys. I've got 3, 4, 5 on the timer, and I've got 88 as well. So that's letting me know that you guys are not at the beginning stages of this energy that I was speaking on about you. This isn't something new. This isn't something that just came in right now. This is something that has been culminating and brewing for a little while. I'm hearing 3 to 5 weeks for somebody, maybe a month, around a month's time. Let me pull another card for you from my other deck. This is my personal deck. This is actually 2 decks in one. I created 2 decks at different times. The deck that's more recent has a lot more complex concepts in it, whereas the deck that's a little bit older is a little more simple, but it allows me to connect ideas in a different way every single time. So I like that versatility, that freedom to ensure that I'm getting out messages to you that is intended, and that I'm not always caught in a thought loop of thinking about the same things. And that may be relevant to some of you here, that you're allowing yourself to expand your let me say this in the way I meant to say it. You guys are having access to different things that are allowing you to change your perspective or have an open mind to allow new concepts to come in. Okay, so there's a lot of masculine energy here. That's for one. This is letting me know that you guys you are really caring about getting things done, You're caring about making sure that you're not falling behind. Some of you some of you are earth-based souls. For those who don't really know what that means, essentially this is a type of soul that has incarnated on the earth many a times. Enough times that you've gotten a feel for what this human experience feels like, but perhaps you feel you didn't get it right enough for you to stay in the ethers or to stay in the astral realms, the higher realms. So you keep reincarnating because you feel there's lessons that you must learn in your human experience in this 3D body. And once you've done that and you feel comfortable enough with how you've done that, then you're going to be comfortable with not reincarnating anymore. So some of you really have done that. That lets me know that though you guys have been here and you've been through this human experience quite a bit, so I'm hearing that some of you have taken advantage of certain lessons. You've used them in a way that honestly has been overworked and overdone. So let me give you an example of what I mean when I say that. Let's say you've learned the life lesson of utilizing your masculine energy to get things done, but you've also learned the lesson of using your feminine energy of manipulation, like your dark feminine, of manipulating things. Manipulation is not bad. It's just how you use it and the intent behind it, right? Well, maybe in those past lives that you've incarnated before, you realized, okay, if I play it too safe, if I play it too nice and too gullible or naive or submissive, putting my life or putting my decisions in other people's hands has gone horribly wrong for me. So now in this life, I am going to ensure that I'm using, well, let me actually take a step back. So let's say in the life before now, you had come to full grips with that and you said, okay, no, I'm going to use this masculine energy to my fullest advantage. You did that, but maybe for some reason it still didn't work out. You lived that life and you're like, your soul said, no, I'm choosing to reincarnate. So here you are again. Now, even though you used your tactfulness, your tactful nature as far as being a very psychologically manipulative person, and that using that to your advantage in this life, but let's say in this life you're overdoing it. Maybe in the life before you overdid it. So, and I'm only giving this example so that you guys can truly understand, but I am hearing from the guides that this is relevant for someone. But even for those who it's not particularly relevant to in a very direct way, you can still understand what I'm saying from this, and of course utilizing the concept as it relates to you. So back to this example. So now that you're in this life and you're trying to use these lessons you learned from your past life, you're supposed to use that. You're supposed to take these lessons with you. Why? Because you've already learned it. But let's say in this life you're overusing it and using it toxically, essentially, because you know this skill so well, you know these energies so well, that you're letting them take over and take control in your life way too much. And so in this life, you're being called to usher in these new perspectives and still use these skills, still use these abilities, still use these energies that are very natural to you. But you're still being called by your higher self and by your spirit team, of course, to dial back on that and incorporate some other things into the mix to, of course, find what it means to be your authentic self. And with an earth-based soul, if you're reincarnating so much, that's because you've still had troubles getting to that full appreciation of your true self, your authentic self. And that's why you're here again, because you realize there are some lessons that are left to be learned, and you're not going to stop until you learn them. At least that's why you're here now, because you made that decision the last time you chose to reincarnate. But we also have some intergalactic or interplanetary souls here. So that's a different type of soul than the earth-based soul. I want to just read the card because it would make sense for me to do that. This type of soul is a starseed soul and are more evolved of perspective than, say, an earth-based soul. Now, this doesn't mean one is better. It just means the strengths look a little different. So there's no competition with that. But they may have a more evolved or developed perspective than the earth-based soul because they previously incarnated in a planet other than Earth. So while the earth-based souls, you have so much experience here in the earth realms, these intergalactic souls or interplanetary souls have more experience from the perspective of the solar system, from another place that isn't necessarily Earth. So while they may be skillful in some things or have certain knowledges or access to certain wisdoms that they curated in these other planets, or while they were inhabiting these other planets or other places in the solar system, in the sky, in the stars, it doesn't mean that they're well versed on the ways of humans and what it means to live a human life. So they have, for you to be an interplanetary soul, you have your own set of challenges. So take that with a grain of salt. But I wanted to speak on these different souls who are here in the collective so that you can get a little bit more of a understanding of how you identify or what you resonate with, so that you can start looking these things up on your own and then figuring out as you ask your spirit team and your higher self and God or whatever you believe in, the higher source, the higher power, the most high vibrational frequencies. What is it that is your authentic self and what needs to be revealed about that will, as long as you're allowing yourself to trust that journey, okay? So with that being said, what I am seeing here is that no matter what it is that you identify with, whatever type of soul, there is a third type, the angelic soul. And I won't get too much into that, but if you resonate with being a soul that doesn't fully resonate with the earth-based or the intergalactic soul, and you find yourself existing on the God frequency, on the Christ consciousness most often of your human existence, then you may resonate as an angel soul. But I'm not necessarily picking up as much of that energy in this reading. However, I recognize that all of you whom this reading is meant for, I can see that you are allowing your heart chakra to open. Whether you wanted it or not to do that, it's happening. And I do see you as taking that as a positive thing, that you're accepting it. 3:55 on the timer. And I see that you guys are appreciating what it's doing for you. It's allowing things to come in. Once again, you guys have a sharper focus. You have a better foresight. Your intuition is culminating, because once again, with all this masculine energy, the feminine hasn't really been put on the forefront, but that doesn't mean it's not there. And I can sense that you guys, because of the way you're taking action and because of the way you're making moves and how your decision making process looks, it's showing me that you have been tapping into your intuition and you have been digging deeper and you have been listening. And some of you are in fact sages. You're essentially occultists or into spiritual practices. You may be readers. You may be energy readers, tarot readers of the world. You may be spiritual teachers or guidances, or even getting into the energy of a shaman or a guru, depending on who you are. So take what resonates, but I'm seeing that that's a skill or a gift that you have. And if you haven't dug into it, give it a shot. Typically when that comes out, spiritual birth for confirmation, that lets me know that this isn't something you should brush off. I see that there's cult energy here. Spirit called me to take a shift. Cult energy here. So what this lets me know is that you guys are in some form of a ritual at this time. I don't want you to be freaked out or scared about that. What it means is that you are being watched and observed. You're being watched not only in a galactic sense, but you're being watched in the spiritual realms. spirit realms, but you're also being watched. You are being monitored, you're being watched. And I wouldn't necessarily take this maliciously. It just is what it is. People are recognizing you. Spirits are recognizing you for who you truly are and who you're coming into, and the fact that you're willing to access this power at this time. So what that means is they're assessing you. It's just an assessment. You should not, you're being called or asked not to take offense to this. It would be in your best interest not to feel paranoid or too worried about it, because what it's doing is these assessments are allowing other moving parts of the universe to understand where you should be slotted, what opportunities should come to you, what reactions that you give off in this world is showing the universe what to push your way, what you're attracting to yourself and what you're repelling away from yourself due to the energy that you're emitting. So there's no hard feelings about the fact that people are watching you at this time, that spirits are watching you at this time, and that is a confirmation. Very, very bolsterous energy. I heard someone is feeling exposed. Someone is feeling nervous and worried about the fact that maybe you're on to someone about, maybe you're just picking up on it. Maybe you just are able to recognize that these energies are keeping tabs on you to see what you do, to essentially, I'm hearing test the waters, but I'm also hearing to check your temperature. So, just do what you feel most called to do in your true heart of hearts, in your intuitive sense, in your higher self, essentially. And you will see that people will recognize you for the wise and I don't know what to say. Spirit is actually calling me to switch gears. I do know what to say, but Spirit is still calling me to switch gears. I just get the energy that trust that everything's going to happen in due timing. And if you feel uncomfortable, you can breathe through that and trust that that discomfort is not going to last forever, essentially. Back to this cult energy, though. So what this means is you guys may go through some form of a trial, an initiation, a ritual of sorts, where you feel coming up that different energies are trying you, or you're being called to really stand on this higher form of wisdom, on everything that you've learned, everything that you've culminated into your experience to get to this current moment right now. All of the intelligence, the intuitive nudges, everything that you can roll into one that you learned from through your traumas, through your experiences, you're going to be put in positions or circumstances where you must actually show that you have these wisdoms and these knowledges, and you have to demonstrate that you can apply them. Things that you've learned over the years, things that you've just recently learned, and things that you're in the process of learning. So just use truth in this time. If you try to do anything that is shady or just not of the purest intent, it very well could come back to bite you, because what it's gonna do is it's going to show that you've succumbed to the cult energy. So let me put it in terms. There are spirits in this cult-like energy. There's a group of spirits or an energy that surges through different people. This could be a group of individuals. Essentially, at the core, it's a type of energy that may utilize other vessels. Utilize vessels to transfer that energy and keep that energy showing up in your experience. So when it comes to this cult energy, you may ask yourself, why am I being treated a certain way by different people or in different areas of my life? Well, that's because not only is the universe sending you a test, But within the test that the universe is sending you, these cult energies have their own approach. They have their own approach to essentially convert you to that whatever energy is of that cult. It wants to initiate you in and to make you a part of that cult. Now, whether this energy is high vibrational or low vibrational is relative, but in this case, you have to understand that. One second, guys. Okay. So, regardless of whether the energy is high vibrational or low vibrational, it still comes down to the fact that it is a part of a test from the universe and serving as individual little tests that show up from whatever vessel or whatever person has allowed that cult energy to come out of them in whatever unique way that it shows up situationally, right? So you essentially are in the position of being a sacrificial lamb to this cult energy, but only if you allow it. This is very significant for somebody, and I don't want this to go over any of your heads. You have the power to ensure that you are not a sacrifice to any cult. You don't have to be. But the way this works, the way it works, is that you have to prove that you are not to be a sacrifice. You can sacrifice the older versions of yourself, but do not give your true and authentic energy in a sacrificial way to something else that is not for your highest good or your truest good, or the truest and highest good of the balance of the universe, of the greater good of humanity and our collective consciousness as a whole. And it's really important for you to take that away. I just want you to know that the deed is already done. Your heart chakra has been opened. Your soul is leading the way. I'm hearing soul return for this collective, which is amazing. We've got 4:06 on the clock, which is excellent. That translates to the energy of 10, but the vibration of 1, which lets me know that a cycle has been completed and you guys are moving into a new cycle. The one I've just explained, it's aligning up. It's lining up. Yes, no kidding. Right time. I also saw divination abuse, so please do be mindful of using your energy in perverse ways, in unbalanced ways. Of course, if you're called to use a certain energy because that's truly what you must do at that time, there's zero shame and zero guilt to be had behind that action, behind that intention, behind that motive. But of course, it needs to be pure and it needs to be warranted for things to work best in your favor. That's just another synchronicity with all this masculine energy on the board. We've got heavy air, Queen of Swords, it's giving Libra. Ace of Swords, it's giving Gemini. Aquarius too, of course. And then we've got 8 of Wands. I'm hearing Sagittarius. Yes. So lovelies, I want to give you a little token of advice from your spirit guides. Okay? You're being called to just relax, to take a moment to appreciate where you are in life and validate these changes and to stand with confidence. I feel as though your confidence is going to be one of your biggest weapons, because this is going to allow you to stand on the things you say and to have conviction and to see yourself in a position of authority that you actually have. The spiritual authority you have is 100% there. So allow that to shine through here in the earth realm, here in the 3D. There is no coming back, but you guys are facing a smooth transition at this time, or you will be. Take it as it resonates. And I just am being called to tell you the deed is done. What is yours is yours. It's not going anywhere. No one can take it from you. So once again, don't allow yourself to be treated as some sacrificial lamb. No. Because if the interesting thing is, if you can't be someone's or a cult energy's sacrificial lamb, then they try to turn you into the black sheep. I'm seeing here that you may have faced so much as a child, so much energy, backlash put into the position of a black sheep, but that's because you know how to overcome this sacrificial lamb energy. You know how to transmute this energy. And yes, you're being called to do that. I'm feeling that you guys have very heavy baggage energies, dark energies that linger in your arc field, maybe from what did happen to you as a child, but you're being called to just come to terms with that and really understand that it was to grow you and teach you and put you into position to be able to handle what's coming in the best ways. You know, you can't be given an entire kingdom if you don't know how to run the kingdom, how to value the kingdom, how to be a keeper of that kingdom. And that's truly for somebody here. Take what resonates, my lovelies, mis cristales. It's a pleasure. 4:11 on the clock. There's 7 on the clock. Okay, somebody's getting lucky within within respect. You know, luck is on the way. Luck is on your side. That's what that really means. You don't have to be out here to prove anyone, is what I'm hearing from spirit guides. You just do what you are called to do. And I'm hearing that Nicki Minaj verse, I do it and it's done. Forgive me, I don't know the verse. I thought I did, but I don't. But if you guys know Itty Bitty Piggy by Nicki Minaj, check out her verse. Check out that whole freestyle she killed it. But of course, listen to that and see what sticks out to you. I'm hearing that's the kind of confidence edging into the area of cockiness that you gotta have in this time from a pure place, but really that's what you want to encapsulate, because what's yours is yours. And on top of that, you don't have to over explain yourself to anybody. Just show up, pull up, do what must be done, and skirt on out of there. Everyone's gonna respect you for that. Okay, beauties, I'm gonna let you go. Please like, comment, share, email me. Let me know anything that you felt moved by in this reading or any of the readings that I do. I want to thank you so dearly for giving this energy transfer with me. You definitely don't have to, but the fact that you are willing to dig into your evolution and find your true self means so very much to me. Of course, it should mean just as much as I know it does to you. So with that being said, I'm gonna close out this reading if I could do it. I don't know, it's something about you guys' energy that I just don't really want to click the off button, but it's about that time. So get out here and do what you gotta do and be that amazing you that I know you are. And I don't know, why am I called to give you guys a pep talk like this? That's because you know how powerful you are, and because I can feel it. I'm just so excited for you to bring that out and put it to the world. Posture, face check, you guys got this, okay? I'll talk to you in the next one.